Welcome to primary school. Here we are going to learn constructor. If we are in between one of a Java tutorial in which we are going to learn constructor. So what is constructor? Constructor in Java is a special type of method that is used to initialize the object. Java constructor is invoked at the time of object creation. It constructs the value, provides data for the object, that is why it is known as constructor. Now what are the rules for creating Java constructor? There are basically two rules defined for constructor. These are: constructor name must be as its class name. So you should keep in mind that constructor should have a same name as the class. And second point is constructor must have no explicit return type. That means a constructor doesn't have any return type, so you should not put any return type. Just a minute. You should not put any return type like void, int, string, anything like that. You shouldn't have to put those things. Now type of Java constructor. There are two types of Java constructor: default constructor and parameterized constructor. Now what is default constructor and parameterized constructor? Default constructor are constructor those have no parameter at all. Like we have syntax like constructor name, then curly braces. I'm sorry. Now example of default constructor. Example is like we have a class bike1, and in that we have one constructor, that is bike1 constructor, which will simply print a message which is bike is created. Okay, so now when you create the object of this class in main method, this constructor will automatically come out and it will print bike is created. Okay, so you no need to call the method, it will automatically call when the object is created, when you say new to a class. Okay, now what is the purpose of default constructor? Default constructor provides the default value to the object like 0, null, etc. depending on the type. That's why we use default constructor. Okay, so now parameterized constructor. A constructor that have parameters is known as a parameterized constructor. Why use parameterized constructor? Parameterized constructor is used to provide different value to the distinct object. Okay, this is used to provide the different values. Example of parameterized constructor. We have one example like class student4. In that we have one variable, that is int id, and one string variable, that is name. In that we have created one constructor, that is student4, which takes int I and string n, where id is equals to, here we are assigning id is equals to I and name is equals to n. Okay, so now we have another method, that is void display method, that will simply print the id value. Okay, id and name value. So when we create object of this class in main method, object of student4 class, so we are creating two objects where we are providing two parameters. One parameter is int type and another parameter is of type string. And when we call display method, what will happen? These value will go to the constructor and that will be printed through this display method. That's why we use parameterized constructor to pass the parameter. So that's about constructor and types of constructor. We will learn few more things about constructor in the next class. Till then, bye bye.